breaking news. Rob Gronkowski is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. No, really, I'm not kidding you. Rob Gronkowski is coming out of retirement, and the Patriots have agreed to terms on a deal that would send him to Tampa to be reunited with Tom Brady. It's Gronk and a 7 for a 4. The Patriots, Ian Rappaport here, who got this ball rolling on the breaking news earlier in the day. The Patriots see Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski play in Tampa for the Buccaneers, and they get back a 4th-round pick. Now, I realize Brady was a free agent, but I can see the reaction right now, Ian, from Patriots fans. Gronk for a 4th-round pick. Wow.
It's actually not even that. It's Gronk and a 7 for a 4th-round pick. It's actually about what the Seahawks and Raiders agreed to when it was a Marshawn Lynch trade going from Seattle to the Raiders. A late-round pick for a player kind of at the end, retired, coming out of retirement. The historical sense here puts this right around the ballpark of where it should be. Remember, this is not Rob Gronkowski from 5 or 6 years ago. But still, it is still Gronkowski. It's still maybe the greatest tight end to ever play football, who now is expected to come back and play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. As far as the specifics of the trade, here's what we know. Gronk and a 7 to the Bucs in exchange for a 4th-rounder in this draft. Gronk also, I'm told, has taken a physical, so there's no issues there. This all means that the trade should happen. Gronk should be back. The Patriots now have extra draft picks. Brady gets his guy. Gronk gets his quarterback. All of these things happen today, Andrew.
All right, so the Buccaneers had 2 4th-round picks, 117 their own pick, and 139, which was a compensatory pick. Ian, do we know how long this has been in the works? I know Gronkowski often, drops little hints. Yeah, maybe I'll come back and play football. But do we know if last month, when Brady talked it over with Jason Light and Bruce Arians and made the decision to leave New England and go to Tampa, was Gronk part of the conversation?
This has been something that it's been in Tom Brady's head for a very long time. And I know that Brady has sort of confided in people that he would love to have Gronk back. It's just a matter of, is this going to be better for Gronk than retirement life, which is so fun because you don't get hit. And Gronk has told me, came on the Rap Sheet and Friends podcast a couple months ago and told me how great his body felt. It's about to start feeling a little different. However, we also know he's not coming back for anyone besides Tom Brady. As far as when the actual trade talks have been going on, I know it's really just a matter of the last couple of days this thing really percolated. And obviously today it really hit a crescendo here. And this should come together officially in the next 24 hours ago. I would expect Gronk to say something publicly pretty soon as well.
All right, Gronk said a little bit yesterday. He was on with Andy Cohen and left the door open a little bit. And then today, Ian with the news. Rob Gronkowski out of retirement. He turns 31 in 3 weeks, and he is getting traded from New England to Tampa to be reunited with Tom Brady. It's a 7 and a 4. The Patriots chip in a 7. The Bucs give them a 4. Steve Smith Sr., Steve Mariucci, Charles Davis with me now on NFL Total Access Draft Preview. Mooch, start with you. We talked before about Super Bowl or bust for the Patriots. I'm sorry, for the Bucs. That's why you get Tom Brady. Are they a favorite now? Brady and Gronk and Mike Evans and Godwin and Bruce Arians calling plays. I mean, come on.
Come on, it's a good team now. Very good team, very competitive. Now, if you ask Drew Brees and Matt Ryan and those guys, they go, come on, you bring it on. This is going to be a heck of a division. But here's the thing, when I'm looking at it, it all kind of makes some sense. When Gronk came out of college at Arizona, he had a back injury, and that's why he slipped to the 2nd round. And so there were health concerns from day one when he entered into the league. And this guy was so busy catching balls over the middle, he took a lot of hits, man. I mean, he had knees and backs and ribs and you name it. He took a lot of hits, very productive. But you know what? Last year, his pocketbook wanted him to come back. The fans wanted him to come back. The team wanted him. He wanted to play. He loves football. You know he has a lot of fun being in the limelight. But his body was saying, I can't do this anymore. I'm beat up. I just can't do this anymore. Steve mentioned it earlier. And you know what? After taking over a year off, I think your body starts to recover and feel better. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, I'm waking up in the morning without any pain. Maybe I'm ready to go. That was a good reboot. So this guy is refreshed. He's energized. He's ready to go. And yeah, he's got a chance to play with his BFF, Tom Brady.
Guys, I almost feel like I should be singing, but I will spare you all, okay? But somewhere Peaches and Herb are busting out reunited right now, and it does feel so good. And by the way, the poor Buccaneers ticket office, they're just recovering from Tom Brady, and here comes Gronk right back at it. The phone lines are going at it and the internet. But here's the thing. Both of them seemingly have expressed the idea that being somewhere else is invigorating. Yes, Gronk coming out of retirement, getting his body right. You guys have made that point so well. Tom Brady simply choosing to want to be somewhere else. When I worked at Stanford University, I worked for an athletic director named Ted Leland, and he was a gardener, and he used to tell me all the time, at a certain stage of your life, after so much time, you need to repot yourself, plant yourself somewhere else, reinvigorate yourself. Both of them have that opportunity now. Both of them have it right in front of them, and on a team that has a chance to win. Byron Leftwich can't wait to draw up plays for these guys, along with Bruce Arians. Now, Todd Bowles, with that offense, more responsibility for the defense now, and they'll get other guys that can't wait to play there. And last but not least, Raps is going to tell us later what happens to the WWE title belt, and we got to find out, is Jordan Leggett going to hold Gronk up for some money for number 87?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, that.
I mean,
I
Charles,
thought you were going
all of
wrestling
this
there,
has-
Charles. I don't know my wrestling whatsoever, but I hear what you're
Yeah.
saying. Go ahead, Steve.
Man, with all of this going on and Ian Rappaport reporting this and a few minutes later, man, I haven't seen a transaction happen this fast. It's probably the last time I mistakenly did not pay my cable bill. They didn't send me anything. They just cut my cable off, and it's happened that fast. The really crazy thing about all of this is O.J. Howard. Is he all of a sudden trade bait? What happens to O.J. Howard? Does he want to sit around and buy this time and be the number 2 tight end in this offense? People can say, oh, that can't be the case. You know, when the Baltimore Ravens drafted Lamar Jackson, I said that room will not have 3 quarterbacks. It took a little bit of time, but that quarterback left, and he went to Denver, and now Denver doesn't have him. So that just lets you know when guys get picked up, veterans or young guys, someone's the odd man out. We don't know who it is yet, but there's an odd man out, and the Buccaneers have become a very dangerous team, literally overnight.
Mooch, does this help ease the transition for Brady? We talk so much about a virtual offseason, and no one knows when they're going to be able to be in the building or get on the field again. They're going to get Bruce Arians' playbook, but it's one thing to read it. It's another thing to actually go out there and do it. Now Gronk is there. I would have to think that gives him a security blanket of sorts.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that Bruce Arians' offense will be altered quite a bit to accommodate the skill set of a Tom Brady and now a Gronk. And, you know, Steve was talking about O.J. Howard. I think he's happy as heck to be on this team. He's been there for 3 years without the success that he had hoped for. And, you know, Tom Brady likes playing with 12 personnel, 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers and just 1 running back, because sometimes Gronk's in line and sometimes he's slot, sometimes he's outside. And O.J. Howard's probably going, yeah, I like this, because now I got a chance to win. That's what they want to do. They want to win and see if they can get a ring on their finger. And now this is all, like they said, it all changes the game. That division now is really an interesting division. Gronk and Tom will be utilized to fill their skill sets. I mean, they're only going to be there a year or two, right? So they're going to do everything in their power to make them productive.
You know, Mooch, you bring up a great point there, and it's not just the security blanket for Tom Brady that Gronk provides. They provide a blueprint for the rest of the Buccaneers in the locker room about who number 12 is and what it's going to be like to play with him and essentially for him. And for those who always thought, okay, Bruce Arians, he throws the ball downfield, the offense has to be this, has to be that. Bruce Arians is a tremendous coach, and tremendous coaches adapt to the talent around them. One, Tom Brady can still throw the ball downfield, not an issue. But whatever the things are that Tom Brady likes to do well, they will be incorporated in this offense. That's what good coaches and good organizations do, and Bruce Arians fits that bill. But Gronk can walk in there in all the different meeting rooms, not just the tight end room. When the defensive guys approach him, what's Tom Brady really like? What do we need to do? He can get that word out to the rest of the team about what they're supposed to expect, how they're supposed to act, and how number 12 is going to lead them. And they can eventually speak Tom Brady's shorthand a heck of a lot quicker that way, having that front guy go in there and do it without Tom having to explain himself.